Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
All right, sisters, so crazy. The last podcast episode I recorded was like 20-something minutes. I was like, holy shit. Guess what? This one's going to be about 2. It's going to be a really, really simple one. And here's what we're going to talk about today. Is I'm going to invite you to begin to listen behind the behavior, to listen behind the actions. What do I mean by that? Well, if your kids show up a certain way with certain behaviors, if your husband shows up a certain way, if your friends say something to you, if someone is unkind to you, understand that there is often a lot more that's behind the words, that's behind the actions, that there's some meaning, like there's a reason as to why that person is showing up. And we often come in with just our stuff about it, right? Like, let's say with our kids, it's like, oh my God, I'm your mother. You can't talk to me that way. And sometimes those things mean, Mommy, I'm tired. Mommy, I don't know how to feel these emotions. They're really big right now. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I feel like that kid's getting more attention than me in school, and I don't think it's okay. Mommy, that kid is bullying me. What do some of the listening behind the actions maybe mean with the way that your friend is showing up? Hey, you know what? I don't know how to be myself, so I'm just going to judge you instead. I'm afraid to show you who I really am, so I'm just going to show up as a different version of me. And you are being really vulnerable and raw and sharing, and so when you do that, that makes me feel like I have to do it. And because I'm afraid to do it, now you quote unquote, make me feel bad. Listen behind the actions. Listen behind the words. And that will require having some compassion, which I talked about in the very long podcast episode. Compassion. Because things aren't always as they seem. And actually, I believe that they often are not. That guy, that man that shows up with all this kind of like macho energy are often the ones that feel the most deficient of masculinity on the inside. That when women are the ones that are showing up as this like really perfect image and never really talk about, challenges or flaws, and are just really afraid of being who they are and think that if they don't be perfect, they will be judged by others. See, there's things that are behind that. So here we go. I told you this was a fast one, right? Here's your more tip. I want you to think back about a situation you had, a conversation, an interaction, experience with someone where you are upset, you're angry, you've thought certain things about it. And I want you to just take a moment and listen behind the words, to listen behind the behavior, to listen behind the actions, and journal what you think may really be coming up for that person and what that behavior, those words, those actions really truly means. So, newsletter sister, you know how this works. So this is not your first episode that you've listened to. If it is, you need to be receiving the Women Wanting More newsletter. You're going to get all the updates about Women Wanting More, part of the tribe, video trainings, all the good shit. So right now, head over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide, enter in your email, and I'll get you hooked up on that today. So, sister, I will talk to the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you listening and not judging and reacting every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.